Miss B, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
How are you? How's things?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alright, yeah. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, and your family?
Right. I'm Bev Bennett. I'm from Netheredge. My family are from, well, Mum and Dad are from Jamaica. I was born in Sheffield and I'm the last child of 5 children.
A lot of you then?
A lot of us.
A lot of us, a lot of us. It's strange because we also spoke off camera about our families going back, them days, Netheredge. What was that almost like as a community back then?
Back then the community was amazing. We had all nationalities from every part of the country, you know, every part of the world, should I say. You know, it was more, that's the word they use, diverse. Back then, not so much now. Not so much now, no.
Do you think that how open were your parents to the idea of being diverse and being able to kind of mix with the other youths on the area? Were they like all for that idea as well? Or?
Was my parents all for that idea?
Yeah, like...
Well, growing up, Mum and Dad never said like we couldn't talk to any other nationality, you know. We just all grew up being friends. We're still all friends now, would you believe, you know. So they never really said anything like you can't talk to that person or this person. You just got to be polite. You say hello to people when you're passing them, you know. When you're not past them, you just walk up and say good morning, good evening. We still do that now, you know.
It's weird because I think that we have also adopted that as well by saying good morning sir, good afternoon miss. What was your relationship like with your parents?
My relationship with my parents was good, but Mum and Dad worked so hard, just working and working, constantly working. You know, Dad, he's got his barbers, but also he did door-to-door, you know, salesman and stuff, selling detergents and cleaning products, and, you know, and I used to go with him and, you know, on a Sunday, knock on these doors, and yes, we've got this Super 10 product here, you know, gonna try it in your house and so forth, and yeah, they'd buy the product. But yeah, you know, my sister, she mainly brought us up while Mum and Dad were at work. My eldest sister, she came from Jamaica, and she looked after us, but while Mum and Dad were at work, we'd have parties, so we just invite all the people over, the neighbours, and like, yeah, come over to ours, sister's gonna cook, we got the gram in the front room, we'll put that on, you know, and yeah, the neighbours would come, but they had to leave by 8 o'clock, because we know some Mum's on the way back from work, you know what I mean? But end of that, yeah, 8 o'clock, everyone out of the house, and my mum's neighbour, she just like complaining all the time. Mrs. Williams, they're having a party, but Mum didn't believe it because when people had gone, his friends had gone, clean up the house, Chris, you know what I mean? And Mum think, yeah, you've done the chores, there ain't no party, what's she lying for? But that kind of thing. But like I say, the community was good back then, not so much now.
Did you ever feel like you was a part of the community, a part of the wider community though? Because obviously, Netheredge, you saying it was a great place to live, there was obviously a lot of diverse races. Have you been in moments of exclusion or like I feel a bit like I don't belong in this sense?
I never
Outside of that community.
Never so much felt like that, only sometimes at school. Yes, we went to a school called Baton Middle School, nursery first and middle school. Some of the teachers there, you could tell, but at them times you literally don't know about racism and stuff like that. You just don't understand why they don't really treat you the same as everybody else. You know, there was one teacher, only the people remember him, called Mr. Licorice, blacker than us. I'm serious.
Oh, point.
He was slipper happy. You know, want to use that slipper on for any reason. If you're late, you're going to get a slipper. If your name's last on the register, you're going to get a slipper. Yeah, Mr. Licorice, he was such a nasty, nasty teacher. You know, he was the main one that made us feel that we weren't right, in a sense, if that makes sense. But, yeah.
How diverse was that school? Because obviously my uncles, you, my mum, it seemed like the way they explained it, it was just mostly black people, but in a predominantly affluent white area. How diverse was that school, and how did you find that dynamic, almost leaving like Never Edge to go up to, let's call it mill houses? How diverse was school?
School was very diverse, very, very diverse. Different nationalities. At the Aberdeen Middle School I went to, they had a language centre in the middle of it. So they'd like have if you spoke a different language, they would like get an interpreter to teach these kids, which was a good thing. We was the only school that had the language centre back then. So there was all different nationalities. Some of us could even speak Urdu and different languages. And serious, you know, salam alaikum and them kind of things. You know, so it's like hi in their language. But these days, like I said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
Why do you think that is these days?
Because they closed down all the clubs. It's true though. It's because they've closed everywhere down, because we had loads of places to go to, you know. We had a place called Everyone's Centre, yeah. When we were kids, the council gave us this place, yeah. Mr. Lang at the time was running it, Mr. Lang, yeah, big man. And it was an amazing place. We had so much to do, yeah. And we was told to give it a name, so we had a competition. So my friend Nigel Fisher, name dropping, he come up with Everyone's Centre, because we had all different nationalities, different diverse people there. We all came together and called it Everyone's Centre. Then, later on, too much dominoes, you know? And then the elders started getting in there and taking it and doing their thing, which was sort of pushing us out. So that's when the funding starts dwindling. You know, it starts dwindling. They're not thinking, the elders weren't thinking about the younger ones at the time, like, oh, let's keep this going so we can pass it down. No, the council took it back and turned it into a gym. That's what I mean. So like I'm saying, they've shut down that many places because there was a whole heap of places to go to. Too many to name. They're all shut, apart from this place.
So, in there, you also spoke about elders, and obviously that's a very important thing. Obviously, if there's all parents are working, all the sisters looking after you, all raising you, raised almost by a safe and diverse community in Never Edge, ramping, having an Everyone's Centre. I know myself firsthand that there were influential people in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Who were your elders growing up at the time? As Mr. Lang?
Mr. Lang, Mrs. Mr. Lang. It was pronounced Lang, yeah? Because there was Lang and Lang. So Mrs. Lang was the matriarch. Oh, Mrs. Lang, yeah. She'd invite anybody into the house, feed anybody, you know? So we all looked up to her. Now, Mr. Lang, he was the one that had the Everyone's Centre and brought all the kids in. We'd have parties there, christenings, anything, you know? Who else was there? Nether Edge. Well, to tell you the truth, I had respect for all my elders in Nether Edge, because we were brought up with respecting our elders, you know, but these days. The elders are scared of the kids, they don't even want to look at them, never mind say hello. Serious, that's how it is.
Do you think a lot of the traditions that your parents and our grandparents instilled into us have been lost, even though you instilled it into your child, like into your children? Do you think that that level of respect is dwindled between our generation and old generation?
Most definitely. But it's how you bring your children up at the end of the day, you know. If some kids don't feel they've been respected, they ain't going to show that back, you know. So, like I said, we're growing up with respect, say hello to people and, you know, look out for them, carry their shopping and so forth. But things have just got a bit scary lately because the elders, they seem to be blaming the younger ones for what's going on. But at the end of the day, it's not their fault because they're looking at who's there for them to look up to at the end of the day, you know? But I can't explain I can't explain it. It's sad really, you know, but if, like I say, if you haven't got manners towards the kids, then how do you expect them to have manners back to you? You know, I've seen that happen a lot of time.
But there was a lot of safe spaces.
There's a whole heap of safe spaces to be. Not now. Like I said, they're all closed down. Yeah? And now they've closed them all down, they seem to be opening them back up again. But you know what? They're opening them up if you commit a crime. And that's the truth. Because you see, now Nether Edge, growing up, there wasn't an area for knife crime, gun crime and all that. All you're hearing lately is, this has happened in Nether Edge, that has happened on Nether Edge. I heard fireworks last night, some people are saying, oh, shooting. That wasn't like that back then, right? Because the kids have got nowhere to go, they're frustrated. People are frustrated, they've got nowhere to go, yeah? But now there's all these crimes that the council like, yeah, I'll open you up an organisation called Mums United and this and that. But end of the day, it's their kids causing the problem and they're getting treated and we ain't doing anything and they won't give us anything. And they can't see that, really? Oh.
So in terms of like the safe spaces and stuff and what you did get up to, little breakdancing and little DJ here and there, speak on that a little.
Oh, growing up myself, yes. I was tomboy. Still am tomboy, I don't really like dresses and stuff like that, you know. But I was in a crew, had my own crew, a body system crew, a women's crew, yeah. That's what I'm saying, when we had the Everyone Centre, that's where everybody met up, yeah. We met up at Everyone Centre and we could graffiti the walls. I had my graffiti up, body system, yeah. And we'd go out and have challenges and things like that. I'll just tell you about one time. I went to a place called Middlewood Hospital. I don't know if you know about it. It was a hospital at the time for people with mental illnesses. Now, me and my crew got invited up there to do like a dance display kind of thing. Yeah, so we're there doing this bit and whatever, yeah. And we got chased out of the place. Like, what's happening here? I think they must have thought we were being disrespectful by the moves we were making, locking, pop, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But this is true story. We just got chased out of the place. But anyway, there were good days, yeah. We went all over the place. Fargate was one. Fargate back in the 80s. You know, we had a place called the Wimpy. I don't know what it's called now, but yeah, it was like a burger place, the Wimpy. Opposite that was Top Shop and them places, but the Top Shop was all glassed out, the front of it. So we bring our lino and our ghetto blaster and oh! Yeah.
Real.
Yeah, loved it. And the thing is, like, you could do any move because nobody knew what you were doing anyway, so you could just make up a name, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But yeah,
and
play dancing.
Where did that actually stem from? Like,
where did that stem from?
Was there a lot of influences?
It's more an American thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, more an American thing. You heard of Harry Belafonte?
No.
Sorry. Well, Harry Belafonte, I don't know if he's still alive, he might be. But he did a song called Jamaica Farewell, I think. I can't sing, but I tried. It went something like, down the way where the nights are gay and the sunshine daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. That's what my dad had to do. He left my sister in Kingston Town. But Harry Belafonte also loved hip-hop, loves hip-hop. Now, I don't know if you heard of, was it Beat Street? No? Hip-hop films, right, it was Beat Street. One of them films, anyway. But the producer and so forth, Harry Belafonte, you know, and I'm like, what? So he brought the Windrush generation, West Indian Rush generation, the Jamaica Farewell. To me, that's their theme, their song. And then in the 80s, when we were all doing our break dancing and stuff, he come with that, and I was shocked it was Harry Belafonte. I was like, see, he knows what was needed with all the graffiti and this, that, and other. So now I'm seeing that come back now with Nathan and his hip hop, and oh, I'm there. When he's doing his hip hop and his group, I'm there. Or I try to be there, you know, because he's brought that good era, because that's what the best times was in the 80s. You see?
Well, it's mad, like, my mum always talks about, like, Picture House and KJB and...
Oh my gosh! Your mum's older than me, but anyway, KGB! Yeah, the old Picture House.
Where were the places to... Where was the place to be?
KGB is the Picture House, they call it now, yeah? But we used to go there on a Saturday. We would have cinema on a Saturday, watch cartoons, Tom and Jerry, them kind of thing, whatever, you know. But we also had Northern Soul. Okay. Do you know what Northern Soul is? Yeah, when they put talcum powder and they sprinkle it on the floor and they slide and do whatever dancing, yeah? But there was a lot of white people at these Northern Souls events, maybe a handful or half a handful of black people there. But it was our music, yeah? What they always claim, our music. I'll tell you about that another time. But anyway, yeah, KGB was the place, and for cinema and all different things as well, as you know. Yeah?
Anywhere else?
KGB. We had turn-ups.
You lot turn-ups.
Yeah, we had turn-ups, because what it were, the nightclubs was for the kids in the day. Yeah, so then after 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock when telly sign off, it was the adults. See what I mean? So we had places to go. Yeah.
Mad. So, fast forward. In fact, you spoke about your dad in that song. He left your eldest sister in Kingston. What was that like? I barely feel, or it was just like, how old was she when she came over? And did it change the dynamic? I'm not
sure what age she came over exactly. It was either 8 or 10, because I'm the youngest, but she's 8 years older than me, so I don't know if she came before I was born, you see, so I'm just talking about what I remember of her, say from maybe 4 years old, yeah? So, but like I said, with that song, it just reminds me of like, oh, I can just imagine my dad, in fact, not even just my dad, my granddad, because my granddad came over first, I left my mum. And my mum had my sister at them times. My mum was young. My granddad came over to England and did whatever he could do, find somewhere to live. Then he sent for my dad, because my mum had my sister. So my dad had come over a year before my mum, you see? And just worked since he's come over.
It seems like a common theme though, because I recall like my granddad coming over, Birmingham, landed in Birmingham. Alright, he wasn't too sure about Birmingham, we're landing at Sheffield now. He lays the nest and then calls for his wife to come, who's not gone now. Why did they have that theme? Do you think it, like, why has that theme still, like, it's still here, if you know what I mean? It's continued where, like, your granddad needed it, he sent Fiat to come now. Then after that, your father,
Yeah.
he come over. Like, do you think that was just our kind of way of trying to integrate a bit easier in that time, or?
Not sure about that because my mum, she said when she came over to England, she came over for the Queen, to work for the Queen. Sorry.
The Queenside passport. The Queenside
No,
passport.
but this is what Mum said. She came to work for the Queen.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to tell a little bit about me as well when I was little. I used to go to somewhere called Brownies. We had Brownies, Guide Scouts and whatever, but I went to somewhere called Brownies. Now, I was in a little group called the Elves, yeah? And we had to say something like, this is what we do as elves, think of others, not ourselves, right? Okay. Then, before we go home, we'd have to recite something like, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God, to serve the Queen, to help other people, and to keep the Brownie Guide law. Yeah? So I think that's probably what my mum must have been saying about we've got to work for the Queen. Now, we used to wear a brown uniform kind of thing. I hate it. And yellow tie and all that, yeah? But you know something? I'm still brown and I still do what I need to do. I still abide by those, you know, the verse what I was just said.
Yeah.
Not because the Queen said it, it's because that's what I'm like anyway, you know? And I don't need to take off no uniform, so I'll always be brown. And I don't need those lyrics for anything, you know? Just be yourself, be a good person. You know, if you want to be a nasty person, obviously you've got issues to deal with yourself, seriously.
And going back to Jamaica, for yourself, what was that like?
Wow, that was good. The journey went good, but getting there, I'll take off my coat like on Cool Runnings, you know, like take off the coat because it's hot and all that, whatever. But yeah, because I did an event in town, and I called it The Journey. Now, this was in 2018, and it was 70 years celebration of Windrush, yeah? But I had problems trying to get help from the council. At first, it helped me, because I said, oh, I want to do something for Windrush. And they said to me, oh, what's Windrush? I went, oh, well, it was this boat that came over, you know, 70 years ago and so forth. And I just want to say thank you to my elders. I want to say thank you to my elders, you know, for coming and paving the way for us. That's why I called it The Journey, because it is never ending. And everything was fine, because I booked it in 2017, the year before, to make sure I get it from the 2018. Everything was fine, all this help from the council. Yeah, give us more stories, blah, 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 which I was doing. Then March hit. As soon as March hit, Windrush scandal, didn't want to know then, left me on my own. You know what? It's all right. I'm still going to have a party on Fargate. Well, not Fargate, Barker's Pool. I'm still going to celebrate and say thank you. Don't care if you give me any funding, I'm still going to do it, because it needs doing, because Sheffield don't do anything. You know, people are wanting to leave Sheffield because they're getting depressed. They're staying here because they don't feel like they're wanted. And that's how I'm feeling now. And I shouldn't be, you know? Not 52, I'm 52, would you believe I'm 52? And I shouldn't be feeling this way. I should be feeling better. Things should be getting better, not worse. Things going backwards, but they're skipping the 80s, which was a good time. So I'm glad it's still here now. But the times when our parents have come over and struggled, you know, and got called names by and beat up by teddy boys or something, that they'd say. For what reason? They only came to work because the Queen said, come over and clean up for us. That's why they didn't have many germs back then, because our families, yeah, they came over to clean up the rubbish. Now, a lot of our families worked in the caring, cleaning, or whatever industry. That's why they didn't have no disease what they got now, because people got lazy and don't want to clean up anything. Seriously, yeah. Yeah, it's true though. It's true. Same hat.
You're obviously a very influential person in Sheffield, being one who wants to bring people together, obviously in terms of the Windrush event. I'm aware that you had more of these events on at a certain time in Sheffield. Tell us a little bit about that, and in the catering as well, if you want to.
Can I just answer one more question? Sorry, the last question, I didn't answer it, I just babbled. When I went to Jamaica, you asked me about that, I went to say thank you to my granddad. My granddad's not passed, obviously, but his grave is at the back of the house, the family home, yeah? In Stedford Town, they call it. So every day when I was there, most of the days I was there, go and pay my respects to my granddad. Thank you, granddad. Thank you for the Windrush. Thank you for, you know, what you did. And paved the way for a lot of my family members. Not just me, a lot of my cousins and all them. If it weren't for my granddad, they wouldn't even be here. You know? So I had to go and pay my respects and say thank you and learn how it is and how it felt to not so much rough it out, but to feel what it's like not to have all these material gadgets and things in front of you. I didn't even watch TV. There was too much entertainment outside. It's like, hey, you know? So that's why I had to go to Jamaica. My mum paid for me and my sister. I didn't have no money to pay because I paid for the Windrush event, you know what I mean? So I was broke by then. So they took me to Jamaica, you know? So I've answered that question that you asked me before.
That also ties into the next question, because your influences, obviously, Granddad, he paved the way, your elders, they showed you certain things in terms of that everyone's having safe spaces for young people to be and go and congregate. That obviously is in you as well, because you've done your events, the catering side, and everything else around Sheffield. Speak on that, on some of the events and just like the catering side, like
some of my events. Excuse me, I just have to get my book up and recap that one. I'm not joking, because at the end of the day I forget certain things. So excuse the suitcase, but if I get recap on certain things I've done, then the question's a little bit easier for me. Right. Would you like to know some of the places that I've worked on or worked with and so forth?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I started catering business at a place called The Hub in Sharrow. It was like a youth club and community centre. You know, a lot of people used to go to, and I started doing food. I've been doing food for a long time, because I always do parties and throw in the food with it. But then I just thought, you know what? I'm going to do a business with the food side of things. So I booked The Hub, and every Tuesday, well, more or less every day, apart from the weekends, I do food. And I was called Sunrise Cafe, yeah? But a year later, I got ill, and I was partially paralysed for, temporarily paralysed for 6 months. I was told I had MS, but I didn't. I had a thing called prolapse disc. So then I had a surgery done, put discs in my neck and so forth, yeah. So, but when I was going to have the operation, I was scared and I just thought, let me just sort of like write my will or whatever and say what I want happening. Now, I obviously wanted to come round and this, that and the other from the operation, and I did come round, and I was just so glad that I was, you know, I could open my eyes to see that I got another opportunity to do something. Now, when I used to do the catering for the sunrise, I just said to my customers, how was your food? And they'd say, yeah, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Yeah? So, okay, right, I need to change the name of the business when I start back up. I'm going to call it Cool. Well, I'm back up and running. Cool Runnings. Right? But when I say that, the first thing people say, I like that film, it's nothing to do with the film. It's because people say the food's cool, because I know the food's all right. And I'm back up and running. So Cool Runnings, and that's where it is. But the film alone was a talking point. And plus, it sort of like matched because Caribbean food, Cool Runnings, they know what they're getting. You know what I'm saying? They know what they were getting. Yeah. So, and from then, I just met a whole heap of different people. You know, going here and there, because I wanted to be mobile, because I work from home. Council come out, checked out my kitchen and everything, gave me the points and so forth. And I was doing the business here, there. I worked for the police. I was a member of Chamber of Commerce for free. Yeah, that's what got me right into. I've done a whole heap of things. All the drug projects that was in Sheffield, I catered for, AGMs, you know, things like that, knife crime. Everybody knows me. But a lot of people know me as Cool Runnings. Name's Bev. Do you know what I mean? But they always ask how food is and so on. And yeah, I've just done lots of things. But I'm not just into the food. I'm into the music. I like to promote people. I see them young guys on Fargate selling their CDs. I ain't giving them £3, I'm giving them 10. Do you know what I mean? Because they're trying so hard to do their thing, so they need that support. You know, that's why most of them want to leave Sheffield, because they're scared of who to approach. They don't know who to approach. End of the day. But like I say, with me catering, there's a whole heap to mention, so and people I've worked for and so on in this place.
Influential one. You're very
I try to be. I just myself, you know, I don't want to be in someone's face, me. You know, I'm not that kind of person. I do them, and then people see what I've done after I've put it in place. Might not go right. Might be 10 people there, might be 20 people there. It's not the quantity of the people, it's the quality of the people. Yeah? And that's it.
I love that, because I feel like that speaks about everything that I do. I'm going to do it to an excellent level. And that helps shape the community, it helps shape the minds of people around you, or the ones who couldn't say, alright, then cool, I can see that's being done. Bev's out here doing that, we've got this person doing that, and I think we're quite unrepresented in Sheffield. Really truly. Do you think that Sheffield is celebrated as a place for the community, or do you just think we just go under the carpet like we aren't recognised?
I can't celebrate anything these days, because what I feel at the present moment is that people don't like us, want to be like us. Seriously. Because, like I was saying, I've worked in lots of places and worked in different venues and things like that. But when I was doing the food, a lot of people would book me, you know, for their event. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do a reggae event today, I'm doing a dub event, I'm doing a jungle. Where's the black people?
Yeah. See.
So, I mean, and then they'll come up to me, I'll be serving food. You got anything? You got anything? Yeah, dumpling. Yeah. I can saltfish, which one do you want? I know what they're asking, you know, and wagwan, big up there. I'm like, really? What part of Jamaica you come from? I don't understand yet. It's intimidating. But the thing is, what hurts most is that they're doing all these reggae events, packed out, charging a whole heap of money, but they're doing what we used to do. It's nothing new, and it hurts a lot. Seriously, it hurts a lot, and they're still doing it. So me now, I know I shouldn't really go on Facebook and certain, but I don't cuss out. I will send a music track that'll go out to them.
Send them, send.
This is what you're doing, but they're still not getting it. You know, I've reached out to them even to say, all right, okay, I wanted to raise some funds for Black History Month because you're doing your event in October. Nobody's come back. That's what I'm saying about they want to be like us, but don't like us. Everything we make them take. That kind of thing. Serious. I'm not joking, it's true. And you must have seen it yourself.
Of course.
But the thing is, people are too quiet, they don't want to speak because they think they might say something out of turn. You ain't saying anything out of turn, they're wrong. They're wrong. And people know what's happening, you know?
So,
We've got so much talent in Sheffield, jeez! And a lot of it comes from Netherhead, Sharrow. You know, they're talented like Jessica's dad, Kyle, Bomber Graham, all these celebrities we know. I'm sure there was one of your family was a boxer back in the day. You see, but no recognition, but they want to say, Golden Girl, yeah, Kyle, all that kind of thing. But her dad came over first, it treated him bad. Tell that story, yeah. There's a lot of things I could say, but I've only got an hour.
With that being said, and we know that we're underappreciated, underrepresented, what are the traditions of our culture, let's say, would you like to keep alive and preserve?
What would I like to keep alive and preserve? The food for a start. Yeah. The music, because the music is our story, you know, because at the end of the day, like I said about these other people doing this jungle and dub and this and that, they're bobbing their head like Churchill dog, not listening to no lyrics, because the lyrics is telling a story, you know. You can tell how somebody is by listening to their album, because they're talking about themselves or what's happened, their experience or their family experience. Now these other people are just bobbing their head off the head. Yeah? For what? For what? So, got to keep the music, definitely got to keep the food. I used to cook in schools as well, do cookery lessons for Black History Month. They should bring that back. Yeah, that would be a good thing. Seriously, teach you about all the different recipes and so forth. Bring that back. I think they are actually, but bring it back in schools.
With the right faces who are going to do it as well. It's all right bringing it back, but it's also having the right people who know that that's their culture.
Yeah.
Know Andy seasoning my snapper, being honest. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So obviously it's important that we know our roots and our heritage. Why is it so important that we understand where we come from?
Why is it so important? Well, if we don't understand where we come from, then at the end of the day, people are going to tell us different things, and we're going to believe what they say, and they're going to keep all the research about us in their archive or in a library, and we've got to read about ourselves. For what? No. That's my answer.
So, with everything, I'm just going to wrap up now. Like, again, it's amazing how much experience, how much wealth of knowledge that you have. Obviously, your illness bounced back. You have obviously been, I say, a pioneer in the whole community. Also a torchbearer. What wisdom would you pass on to the younger generation of today? Any gems?
Wisdom. Be yourself and don't follow fashion, as I would say. Mm-hmm.
And do you think it's possible that we can get back to what it was like in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, where it was, you know, safe on the streets,
Yes.
you had good elders, positive like role models around.
It's
Do you think
happening,
positive?
sorry, it's happening now, so yeah, of course it will when we get back. It's just talking to the right people and knowing who to approach, and don't be scared to ask questions. If you don't ask, you don't get, you know.